I don't know what some of these sandwiches are.
Couple,
Same.
there's a couple I have not had, and based off description, I would love, but I just feel like I can't put them in a high tier. We can talk about that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. All right.
for D tier, I added all this like extra text or whatever. But for D, I put don't know what this is / hate this
You put it.
because it could be one that we don't like, or we could just have never had it, and I'm not going to pick something that I've never had.
See, but here's the thing. I'd
The
eat
C
it if
tier
I
though
had
is
to.
also open for things that if they sound good but you've never had.
But like, C is like if eat it if I'd eat it if I have to. It's really only like two of these.
Yeah,
I'd eat all of these.
yeah. All right.
Eat all of them. I would eat a lot of them.
I would try all of them.
Yeah, I mean, like some of them. I guess we can just get into it. So we're just having the conversation.
Yeah,
Don't waste the good stuff.
let's
Save
get
it for the
into it.
pod.
Let's talk about it. List Night Crew back this week. No Andrew Simon, just Griffin Queen, Matt Modai, Thomas Albert. Thomas, did you have a question before I got going?
I just feel like I look really short, and I'm just gonna see if I
Why
can.
don't you raise your chair? Also, I don't know if we're gonna post this for audio listeners, but if we are, they're not gonna care because
So
they
true.
can't see you.
I want them to picture me tall.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean they can't picture you. You look great. You all look great. Like I said, no Andrew Simon this week, which is kind of a bummer because he would be into this topic. We're tier listing, and we're doing sandwiches. And I didn't put this tier list together. I didn't grab these images. They look like they're from a sub shop menu circa 1950. They look gritty. Honestly they look great.
I was
Okay.
But we're gonna go through it. We have 40 sandwiches, I think, looking at this list, and we're gonna figure out where they go, either between S tier all the way down to D tier. We're gonna talk about some food, and then after this ends, I'm gonna try and prevent myself from going and eating everything in sight.
Yeah. The
Any question?
only thing that I was going to add is this looks like a sandwich shop that I want to go to. Like the worse the menu looks as you're like physically looking at it, the better the food tastes.
Yeah,
This looks
big
like a
time.
menu that hasn't been cleaned in 15 years,
It looks filthy.
and I
It's
mean that.
crazy. It's crazy how dirty it looks. It looks, honestly, parts of this look a little burnt. They look like they've been in a fire.
That's how you
Mine
know they
too.
make a good sandwich.
That said, and we'll see this as we go on, I would love to go to the place that has this menu because it is an eclectic and diverse sandwich menu. This is touching all corners of the globe. I mean, the tariffs are absolutely going to affect this menu because there's a lot of stuff coming from other countries on here.
True.
Can we didn't talk about this. Obviously, like we said, we didn't make this, but it is numbered 1 through 40. Are we starting at 1 or are we starting at 40? Are we going in order?
I think we're gonna. I think we should start at 1. You know, that kind of makes sense to me personally, but I'll leave it up to a vote. If you guys would rather start at 40, we can start at 40.
I'll be honest. The reason I want to start at 40 is because I don't want 40 to be the last one we talk about.
That's really fair. If you're watching this right now, you can probably see on the screen. Let's start with 40. Fuck it. Let's start with 40.
Let's go 40 to 30 and then
Yeah.
1 to 10 and then 30 to 20 and then 11 to 20. Let's just be as confusing as possible going through the list.
I'm going to need you to repeat that when we get there, but I will go 40 to 30, and then I need you to tell me what you want me to do next.
Okay, got it. I have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? We're not going in order. Modai's just going to tell us what's next.
That's fine too. That's fine too. If Modai's saying the name of the sandwich, I will find it on the screen. I'm good. Like, look, we're tier listing sandwiches. The world is our oyster. We can do
Anything
whatever
goes.
we want.
Famously,
I do think we should start with 40 though, and then we can go wherever you want from there because I want to get this one off the board. Number 40, starting our tier listing of sandwiches off. Number 40 is a cucumber tea sandwich, which apparently is made of cucumber and unsalted butter. And I'm going to turn this over to you guys. Modai, let's start with your thoughts.
well, I actually like cucumbers. I think I would enjoy this sandwich. I also don't think this should be a sandwich, so I'm conflicted. You know what I mean? Like, this is a hellacious sounding sandwich, but I would eat it if I have to. If I'm being true to myself, I would eat it if I have to.
So here's my thing. I also don't dislike cucumbers. This is a like fancy finger food sandwich thing.
Sure.
If it said salted butter, I'd consider it as a C. but I have zero interest. Now, yeah, desert island, nothing else to eat. That's fine. I have zero interest in trying a cucumber unsalted butter. Cucumbers are fine.
I think it's important that when I'd eat it if I have to, as one of the categories. That was not a desert island. If I have to, that was like, this is the only food in my house. Like, you could go get something else. All of these we would consume if we were on a desert island. I'm not dying to not eat one of these sandwiches. This doesn't feel like a sandwich to me. Like what I said. It's bread with cucumber and butter in between it. Like, what are we
Unsalted
talking
butter.
about here?
Unsalted
It's
butter.
Yeah, if it had, even if it had just said butter, if it hadn't specified, and I would have assumed, I guess, salted, unsalted butter makes it sound so much less appetizing.
it makes it sound awful.
We need to move quicker on these. We've been on the cucumber tea. Also, stupid name.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, this should
you
go
have
in,
it with tea.
this should go in the D category. Even though
It's
I
a D.
probably would eat it if I have
It's a
to,
D.
it's a
Yeah.
D. I mean, like there are some really good sandwiches on here, and it's going to be tough to debate between like S and A and all that stuff. So yeah,
Sure. All right. What number do we want to go to next?
let's go 39.
39. Okay, we're going to move one backwards. At 39, we've got a liverwurst, which is, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that the way that you do pronounce it because it seems to be German. Liverwurst, mustard, onions, cucumber pickles, or cucumber and pickles. I can't tell. Me personally, I'm going to get out ahead of this one. Not a big liver guy. The rest of this sounds pretty appealing to me. But I would say the base of this one, the actual like meat, not the most appetizing. And liverwurst is just like not an appetizing word. I'm going to be honest. It sounds like what your grandparents would make you eat in the 1920s in the midst of the Great Depression.
It is a sausage made of liver. Like that's what it is.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like it's classified as a sausage because of how they make it, but it's like predominantly from livers. I also have zero interest in it. I also just don't love pickles. Like I like pickles on very specific things. I don't like one of these.
I like pickles. I don't like mustard. I don't like onions, and liver does nothing for me. So this is another sandwich that I would be a D category for
Easy
me.
D.
I feel like this is an easy D all around. I'm a little bummed out that in a sandwich tier list we're starting off with D's, but we did start at the end. If we had started at the beginning, we probably would have been starting with S's or A's. So D it is.
D it
Okay.
is.
I'm gonna keep going until we get to 30, and then we can change the order up again. At 38, we've got what I think is pronounced bocadillo, bocadillo. I don't know.
Bocadillo.
And truthfully, I can't read what that says because it's in, again, small burnt out font. Bread wet rubbed with something.
Chapon.
I don't know what that is.
Bocadillo bocadillo, I don't know. It's on a Spanish baguette. I don't know if it specifies what else goes on it, but it is like it's a Spanish. There are different Latin versions of it, but like it's a Spanish baguette.
On bread alone, that is gaining me some points. I'm a big bread guy. I'm going to get out right ahead and say that. I think no matter what, I'm not going to put this in a D because it looks more appealing than 39 and 40 did. But do I have stronger feelings than I'd eat it if I have to? Not necessarily. I've never had this.
Well, I googled jamon, which I'm guessing that's how it's pronounced because they don't pronounce the J. It is dry cured ham produced in Spain, which doesn't sound half bad.
It looks a little bit like cured ham, so that's fine. Maybe I'm bumping up to pretty good.
See, without having had it, I think I could put it at C, but it sounds much more. It sounds too appetizing to be in D. But I haven't had it. I haven't had it.
It'd be a C. It'd be a C for me.
All right, C it is. I'm fine with C just because I haven't had it. I feel like I need to diversify my palate at this point, but let's keep it moving. At number 37, we've got a Kentucky hot brown, which is turkey, bacon, tomato, and again, I cannot read this, something sauce.
Mornay sauce?
Mornay sauce? This doesn't look like a sandwich. This looks like an open-faced breakfast meal.
I think it is like, yeah, it's open faced from what I know. I've never had one. I'd eat it, but yeah, I don't think I'd call it a sandwich.
It feels like it's like the same concept as avocado toast. You just eat it like an open faced bread. Yeah. And the Mornay cheese is French, often used in fish dishes, and in American cuisine, Mornay sauce is made with cheddar and is commonly used for macaroni and cheese, which bumps it up in my book.
This sounds actually, honestly, it both sounds and looks pretty excellent. Like you said, this is like avocado toast, which is something that I personally am not into. This looks like my version of avocado toast,
It's the
where
unhealthy.
it's meat and cheese.
It sounds great. I like avocado toast. It sounds great. I would definitely eat it. Is it a sandwich? I say no, but it's on the list. It's on the list.
Because it's on the list, I think we have to treat it like a sandwich, but I would agree with you. I think my definition by only having it's toast. It's not a sandwich.
Yeah,
But let's pretend that it is for the purposes of the tier list. Me personally, I think I'm gonna go B.
that's where I would go to.
My own personal list, it would go C, but I have no problems with B because it sounds like I would enjoy it. So B makes sure.
All right. Let's put it in B. If we decide we don't like it there, we can always move it. All right, number 36, Italian beef. Roast beef, green pepper. You guys know what goes into an Italian beef. If you've watched The Bear, they're constantly making them, and an item of food has never looked better than an Italian beef does on that show. For me, I don't even know the last time I had like a really, really great Italian beef, but I've had it a couple times. I'm gonna put this in love this. This is an A for me. This
Yeah.
is like one of the top tier sandwiches, but I don't have great ones often enough for it to be an F tier.
If I'm at like a regular sub shop, hoagie shop, it's not necessarily the thing I'm picking, but like, yeah, if you go to like a place that does Italian beef, like if you're in Chicago, like, yeah, they're delicious, they're fantastic. It's not a S, but I think love this A. That's where I'd have it too.
Yeah, one of my food hot takes is I'm not a huge beef guy. Like I'm always going to choose a chicken cheesesteak over a regular cheesesteak. So on my own list, this would be a B, but I'm okay with it being in an A because I understand that I'm in the minority with that.
Yeah.
I see. I fucking love chicken, but if it's a sandwich, I'm going the other way.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat as you, Thomas. Like I really like chicken. I think I have way more chicken meals than I have beef meals. But a sub, a steak and cheese or an Italian beef or whatever else it might be, cheeseburger sub, specifically from Billy's Sub Shop in Ocean City, Maryland.
Phillies
I'm
is
gonna
fire.
take the cow in that instance. I'm gonna put it in A. If A ends up getting super stacked, maybe we move it down to B. We'll see. Number 35, bologna, which is just bologna and mustard. Although it does look like there's a piece of cheese on the picture there. This is maybe the least appealing picture of the lot. It looks like the sandwich that you get, like your parents would pack you in like a 1960s sitcom to show how much your mom doesn't actually love you.
100%.
I don't like bologna, so
I've eaten a lot of bologna sandwiches. Would I ever at this point buy bologna for myself? No.
it's a garbage meat. It's a piece of shit meat.
Yeah, but here's
100%.
the thing. I love hot dogs. What's the difference?
No, the big difference. Big difference. Hot dogs are a delicacy, and bologna is for the poors.
I mean, yes. I again, I have no interest in having a bologna sandwich at this day and age, but like I used to love them, and like they're simple, they're easy. I personally would have it in C, but not because I want it, but because if you put that in cucumber tea in front of me, I'm probably going bologna.
See, I would eat the cucumber tea sandwich over the bologna sandwich at this point in my life.
Neither of them sound appetizing to me. Bologna, I'm scanning through the rest of this list, and I might end up being wrong because I'm jumping over something. Bologna might be the least appetizing thing on this list for me.
I have one.
Go on.
I have one that is less appetizing for me personally, but I agree with your overall sentiment.
I will not fight it if you guys want this in D. I don't I don't have an interest in eating this.
I really wanted a D. I really wanted a D.
I won't fight you on it. I don't
Yeah.
want. If I was
This almost feels like a class-based statement to me. I feel like I'm engaging in class warfare by putting this in a D, and I'll be honest, I'm doing it intentionally. I stand by college educated. Okay, I
Well,
don't
I
need
mean,
baloney.
at the end of the day, if you wanted me to list the of these 40 sandwiches, the 35 that I've had before, bologna is probably gonna be 35. So like, I'm not upset with the beef.
Sure. Okay, all right. D it is. 34. We've got veggie and hummus, which is cucumber, tomato, avocado, carrot, sprouts, hummus. I'm struggling again to kind of call this a sandwich. It feels like it's just, I guess, a pita. If it's in a
The
pita, it's a
pita, yeah.
sandwich. Yeah. I like this. I'm allergic to avocado, so we'll just ignore that portion of it because it's nobody's fault but my own. It's probably a pretty good for me. It's not exciting, but it's pretty healthy, probably pretty filling. I enjoy things in a pita. Yeah, I don't know. Thoughts? Modi?
See, I agree that this doesn't sound bad, but I would never in my life order a sandwich that doesn't have meat in it, which is my issue. Like, it's if it's in front of me, I would eat it. If I'm ordering a sub, and I would take a bologna sandwich over this probably because at least I'm getting meat with the bologna sandwich.
See,
Sure. Yeah, big vegan.
I love hummus and I like dipping veggies in hummus. At no point would I ever be like, "Oh, I want a veggie and hummus sandwich."
Exactly.
I'm just not interested in it. I would probably take this over a bologna sandwich if you put the two in front of me, just because I like hummus that much. But as a sandwich, it does not interest me.
Yeah,
I'd eat it if I have to.
Yeah, I'd put it in C.
I think it's a C. I think that's
Yeah,
fair, right?
like
Yeah.
it is pretty good. I don't think I'll ever eat one.
I'm not mad about any of it. Doesn't really get me out of bed.
Yeah.
All right, 33. Chicken salad, which is chopped chicken, mayo, and celery. Thom, thoughts?
I'm not a chicken salad person. I don't think it's bad. I just never crave it. And when I see it next to other subs, it's never what I want. I don't dislike chicken salad. It's fine. I just never want it.
I think it's the clear inferior salad sandwich. If you're going to go chicken salad or tuna salad, me personally, I'm taking tuna salad over chicken salad.
I probably more often go tuna, but I feel there's really good versions of both, but I never want either, to be honest.
Sure. But you are the chicken guy.
Love chicken salad. My soul was dying every sentence you guys uttered about this sandwich. If I was putting together this list by myself, this would be an A or an S, and I would need to see how this board actually shakes out to decide which one it would be. I love chicken salad. I think it's phenomenal. Obviously, I'm assuming this is good chicken salad because there are some chicken salads that are better than others. I'm assuming this is all these are the peak version of these sandwiches. Which, if that's the case, this would be for me, like I said, as close to an S as possible, either A or S.
I mean,
Obviously,
looking at these images, these are coming from a sub shop where a dude is bleeding into your food. So I'm not sure that they are the peak version. Like people are covered in band-aids and you don't know why. But I
If
get where you're coming from.
Yeah, if you're telling me this is the best chicken salad you've ever had, I could be okay with it being an A because like I said, I like chicken salad. I'm not against chicken salad. It's just never what I actually want. And
So Modi is between S and A. Thom, you seem like you're a C, maybe?
see, I'd actually put it at B, but
Okay.
if he's that strong about S, I'd put it in the low A's to avoid him being mad at me.
See, I'd put it in C. So Modi, I'm going to leave it up to you because you do have the strongest feelings about it in a positive way. Would you rather this be an A or a B? What
well,
do you
I
think
think
is the more accurate appraisal?
to be fair to the group, it should be in a B because it feels like that kind of averages everybody out.
Okay. All right.
Man of the people.
Yeah, a guy who understands how voting should work. All right.
I'll remember that
Number
later.
32, Modi, I'm proud of you. It was a strong choice on your part. That took a lot. It was a big sacrifice.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
At number 32, we've got a falafel pita, which they have as falafel, lettuce, tomato, onion, cucumber, hummus. I imagine that if you don't like any of those additional toppings, you can probably get rid of, a tomato or an onion or whatever else. Me personally, I'm gonna jump on this one. This is an S tier for me. I don't know if that's the Middle Eastern in me. I fucking love falafel, and my family loves falafel. So even if I didn't love falafel, if I were to vote for this and put it below an S tier, I would get some hate mail from the members of my family that listen to and watch our stuff. That said, if it's not S tier for you guys, I am of course willing to defer to the group because I know that a lot of this is personal bias here for sandwiches.
I like falafel. It's not a big part of my life. When I have it, I've enjoyed it, but it's one of those things where it's almost like kind of like Thomas, how you feel about chicken salad. Like I have nothing against falafel. It's just never what I order. So it's not an S tier for me, but it's definitely like a B or an A.
So I'm most of the same. On my personal list, I would put this right next to chicken salad, kind of for the same reason. Like on my personal list, it would be a B.
Sure.
And if Moda is good with the B, it's 2. I mean, and I feel your love for it, but
I mean, if Modai is going to be self-sacrificing, I can't not be self-sacrificing. And truly,
I
like I said,
can't.
I understand this is not most people's favorite sandwich, particularly because I wouldn't think of it when I'm thinking of sandwiches. I would never go to a sub shop and get a falafel. Get falafel.
Yeah.
I would
Well,
get like an Italian sub, but I
that's
think B makes sense.
well, and honestly, that's how I feel about like an Italian beef. Like, I don't go to a sub shop looking to get an Italian beef or falafel, but if I go to an Italian sub shop, I'll look at Italian beef. Or if I go to an Italian beef place, like they're very, I think, specialties. And
Yeah.
that's what I feel about them.
Not at this place. At this sub shop, I don't know what beach they're at, but that's the beach I want to move to. I assume they're at a beach. They have to be at a
I
beach.
assume.
Yeah.
Probably.
Next up, in keeping with things that are important to my heritage, at 31, we've got a bagel with lox, which is a bagel with cream cheese, smoked salmon, onion, and tomato. They've got a plain bagel in this image. I'm just going to assume that, like most other human beings, it's either going to be an onion or an everything bagel because that's kind of the ideal way to make a bagel with lox. I will hold my opinion. And Thomas, let's start with you.
I have recently got really into bagel with lox. Never was against it, but like recently, when I get bagels, I'm more likely to get it than I ever have been before. It's not my go-to breakfast sandwich, but I would say for me, it's an A or a B. Probably the low A's for me. I also agree. I'd go egg bagel or I'd go everything or egg bagel.
Yeah, everything's my go-to. Honestly, I'd take a lot of different savory option bagels over a plain bagel. In a pinch, I'll take a plain bagel, but like I live in America, okay? I got better options than that.
I don't like everything bagel because I don't like the onion or the onion powder. So that's not for me. Egg bagel is phenomenal. Egg bagel's great. I like the idea of bagel with lox more than I actually like the taste of it because like I love a bagel sandwich. We'll talk about it. Bagel sandwiches are like one of my favorite things in the world. So like whenever I see I can't get like a bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel and I see this option, I'm like, oh, that sounds like something I would like. And then I get it and I eat it and I'm like, well, that wasn't really what I wanted. For me, it would probably be a C or a B. Probably like a B minus.
Okay. There's nothing more on brand for this show, this podcast, whatever you want to call it, than saying, I love a bagel sandwich. We'll talk about it. As if that's like one of the revelations of the universe.
It's coming back around.
People need to know about how you feel about a bagel sandwich. On this image, because it's a plain bagel, I'm going to work off this being a plain bagel. For me, that'd be an A. I think that probably ends up meaning if we average this all out, we're probably going to be a B. I think by virtue of the bagel that they chose, I gotta respect the bagel they put up here, and it's a plain bagel here.
I'm okay with that. Me personally, no matter the bagel, it'd probably still be an A for me. But I got no problems with that decision. I mean, I salt bagel is the best, but maybe not the rocks to be honest. Well, that's fine, Griffin.
A lot of great bagels out there.
A lot of great.
This is a bagel friendly.
Next tier list, bagels.
Bagels. Deal.
We gotta get Andrew back for that one. He's got too much Jewish heritage for us not to include him.
Sure.
Okay, we're at 30. Did we want to do 30 or do we want to skip elsewhere?
Yeah,
So it's up to you guys.
No, we're going to 11. We're going 11 to 20.
Okay, so
we'll go.
now we're at 11. All right,
Okay.
11 is okay. Let me get the head. I can get my head around this. I got to move around. Stick and move, Griff. Stick and move. 11 is fried chicken, which is fried chicken breast, lettuce, and tomato. I think that's a pretty boring fried chicken sandwich.
Can I get in this right real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is such a boring chicken sandwich. And I
Yeah.
understand it's a classic, it's straightforward. But there were so many better like fried chicken is amazing, but like give me a hot chicken sandwich. Give me I don't know. I can't even think right now. But I
I
just
agree.
feel like it being that description hurts it for me a lot.
Well, I mean, they're cutting out so many different options to have things on there. I mean, like fried chicken, lettuce, and tomato. You got no bacon on there. Got no pickles on there. You got no. Maybe you want to have
Sauce.
banana peppers on there. If you want to have a sauce on there, I mean, a sauce is kind of an integral part of a lot of fried chicken. Thomas mentioned what I assume was a Nashville hot chicken. Like that's one of like the go-to fried chicken styles. Granted, that's not on there, but we could also work under the assumption that fried chicken has a little bit more customization than your average sandwich in terms of sauces.
Yeah, so that's what I'm wondering. Like, are we just going off of what the list is on this actual menu, or am I just thinking of like a fried chicken sandwich? Because like you're talking like a
There are no
buffalo,
rules. There are no rules. You can have it be whatever you want it to be.
like a buffalo fried chicken sandwich, that's S or A tier. A Nashville hot, that's S or A tier. Like a Chipotle sauce, like all that stuff to me is like as up there as it gets. It's just I need some sauce on it.
If you're saying the sandwich and then adding a sauce to it is the only thing that is required to get it to S or A tier, and I would actually lean towards S, then I think that sandwich is an S tier.
I
Because
yeah.
again, we live in America and we have access to these sauces.
And let me tell you, there are plenty of times where there's a lot of stuff on the menu, and I'm going to fried chicken sandwich. So like this picture and description does not yell S tier, but a fried chicken sandwich could 100% be S for me.
Yeah,
We've
I'm
got a
good with that.
buddy who, when we go to our favorite sub shop, I think this is Jack's one, but I could be wrong. Who he gets their version of hot tenders, and he gets them put onto a sub roll because they don't have specifically that kind of sub, and it's incredible. It's such a good choice.
Let's go.
It
I
sounds
think I'm
awesome.
gonna put it in S tier. We all
Yeah.
good on S tier?
Again, my issue is with the description, but a fried chicken sandwich deserves to be an S. That's
Yeah.
I take a
Agreed.
little bit of issue with the bread as well. I mean, I feel like this deserves to be on a sub roll, but I think we've got our first S tier fried chicken sandwich.
There are a few pictures here that don't do sandwiches justice, and that's one of
They
them.
don't. They make me less into sandwiches. This next one, which I think we're doing 12 next, right? We're going 11 through 19.
Yep.
This next one doesn't look like what it is. Number 12 is a cheesesteak, which they've got as thinly sliced beef, cheese, and onions. And it looks like it's made of actual, literal children's plastic. Like this looks like a children's toy. That said, I'm not going to work off this picture in this case because a cheesesteak is one of my favorite subs. There's no flaws in a cheesesteak. It is one of the most perfect sandwiches you can get, whether you're doing beef or if you're doing a chicken cheesesteak. That's an option. I know this says beef, but let's not box ourselves in too much. I think this is an easy S tier.
100%.
Yeah, no argument. No, none.
Great.
And
Wow.
one shout out,
12 cheesesteak. Fuck yeah.
one shout out to just like a sub shop out there, like a little guy, Jersey Mike's Chipotle cheesesteak, fucking phenomenal.
Very good.
Now, obviously,
Not
you want a Philly cheesesteak, you go to Philly. But like, if you're at Jersey Mike's and want something hot, their Chipotle cheesesteak is so fun.
you want a Philly cheesesteak, you go to San Diego because that's why they call them Philly cheesesteaks. No, I mean, I'm not the biggest Jersey Mike's guy in the world, but their cheesesteaks, I think, are probably the best thing on their menu, whether it's the chicken or the beef. But also, they've got some that they throw some great stuff on there.
But yeah, cheesesteak yes works for
Steak's
me
awesome. Yeah.
for
I mean,
sure.
Okay, number 13, Cubano, Cuban sandwich. Ham, pork, Swiss cheese, pickles, mustard. This is another one. My God, 11, 12, 13. even looking at this 14, there's so much fucking talent in this little thing here. This is like the 2003 NBA draft. You got LeBron, you got Melo, you got D Wade. Unfortunately, you got Darko in there probably somewhere. There's so much talent up early. For me, I'm actually going to hold off because I want to think about it a little bit. Modai, what are your thoughts on a Cuban sandwich?
So it's not my kind of sandwich. I recognize that it's highly thought of as a sandwich, but I don't like mustard. I don't really like ham. So it doesn't really do anything for me. I'd eat it if I have to. I certainly wouldn't turn it down. Again, I understand that this is probably one of the ones where I'm lower on than consensus, but it's just not my kind of sandwich.
Sure.
This is an S for me. 100%. I like I said, there are only a couple things I like pickles on. Gone is one of them. I fucking love these things, but I get there are things on there that people feel strongly against, like because like pickles on like mustard, whatever. I get it. For me, it's an S for sure.
Every single topping, just reading it, I'm like, this is actually things that if you like, the majority of people probably like these, and if you really like them, you really like them. But like, if you're not into pig products, you're out on this one. If you don't like Swiss cheese, you're out on this one. If you don't like pickles, you're out on this one. If you're one of the people like Modai, who's not the biggest mustard people, you're out on this one. You put all that together. I understand this being a complicated pick. I'm between S and A. Thomas, you were S or you were A? You were
I'm
S.
100% S, but
Okay, and Modai, you're a C.
Yeah.
yeah. So like Griffin, if you're between S and A, I feel like I will take take a knee like you guys did, and I'm okay with an A.
I think we would have to go A. I think it's better than a B. It feels almost unfair to put it with the Kentucky hot brown.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think I should put it, which is not a sandwich. Again, don't think it's a sandwich. I think it deserves to be an A. Modi, any objection to that one?
No issues with that. I recognize
All right.
that. Like I said, it's just because it's not my sandwich doesn't mean it's a bad sandwich. You know what I mean?
This show is built on fairness and debate and equality. I would say it's built on equality.
At the end of the day,
Why it's
reason
for
will
white guys.
prevail. Reason will prevail.
Reason will prevail.
Moda, you might get something in the mail from me that's just an envelope full of glitter. It's because you put a Cubano at A, not S, but don't worry about it. I'm just being passive aggressive.
Number 14, I've got nothing to that. Number 14, a meatball sub. Don't think I need to explain this one, but I will. It's meatballs, marinara sauce, and mozzarella on a sub roll. This is another one that for me is between S and A. I think I'm probably leaning A. A lot of people would probably lean S. I know my wife would definitely lean S, that this might be her favorite sub. Meatballs are her favorite food. That's not code for anything. They're genuinely her favorite food. So I'm just gonna lock myself in before you guys get to yours. I'm gonna say that I'm an A on this one. It's not the top of the mountain for me, but it can see the peak.
Thomas, go ahead. I'm curious what you think.
Minus the wife thing, I pretty much agree. Partially because I love a meatball sub. It's kind of right there with Italian beef with me though, because I feel like I would look at it, I'm like, oh, I want that, and then I usually get the thing next to it that looks a little better. But I also I want the Cubano more often than I want the meatball sub. But like I, it, it's high A for me, high A.
Yeah, it's a strong A. It's like you're getting into a good school with this,
I
but
don't
you're not going to an Ivy.
personally, and we're hearing you out, Modai, because I feel like you're gonna be like, oh, I don't like pickles and mustard, so I hate meatball subs. Uh, it's you
The
think
two renowned ingredients of
I
a meatball sub.
don't think you can go wrong with a meatball sub. I just do think there's better.
It's between an S and an A, so I'm good with I'm good with that. I wasn't gonna have a hot
All
take.
right,
I was
hey,
just
that's a strong A.
yeah.
This is if I could put a separate subcategory that just says strong A, which I guess would be SA anyways. That's like kind of what S is, but it's an A. It's an A. We're committed to an A. And if we get pushed back on this from the legion of followers, fuck them. Fuck them. Number 15. Do either of you know how to say this?
It's a croque monsieur.
Croquet monsieur.
Croquette? Croquet.
Is that how you spell croquette? Okay, I don't know.
No, there's
Tam,
a T in croquet.
Is this another one that's a one? I can't tell in this picture. Is this another one that's one slice of bread?
It looks like it.
No, let me look again.
Is it
Doesn't
smothered with
have to
sauce?
be, but it does get like usually like cheese on top. I
Okay,
think.
so
15 and
it's
16 are both getting real French. And I
yeah.
don't think
So
I've had either of them. They both personally sound delicious, but I haven't had either of them. And I know Modi is not going to like them because they have a mustard on them.
I like Dijon mustard. I just don't like regular. I don't like
Oh, you like
regular
Dijon
yellow.
mustard.
I don't like
You're out on yellow mustard.
yellow mustard. That's the only one. Yeah, exactly. This
Okay.
I've never had it. It sounds tasty. Like anything.
It's
Sounds good.
I've had them before. They're delicious. And this even says it when I'm looking at like, and this I don't think of it as a sandwich. Like, not that it's not a sandwich, but like you eat it with a fork and knife because it's usually messy.
Okay.
So
Okay.
while I think they're delicious and right up my alley, to put it like with other sandwiches feels like I don't know. Like
This
I'd
and
be
the
between
next one, they both look vaguely like biscuits and gravy-ish. Like they look like a fork and knife food.
yeah. It's a rich. It's the same sauce as a Kentucky hot brown.
Which is, as we know, a top tier sandwich in all of our lives.
For me it'd be a B or C.
Yeah,
But
it.
I
I
don't
think
feel
if
sorry.
I would agree. I was going to put it in the B. Only thing I was going to add was that anything smothered in cheese sounds like something that I want to try.
Yeah.
The only
Just on the
difference.
basis of I've not had this, I feel like I can't put it in S or A, even though it sounds delightful. So I'm gonna lean B. Are you guys good with B?
Yeah,
Before we do that, I'll just jump ahead to the croque madame.
Uh-huh.
The only difference is a poached egg or fried egg on top.
which
That's the
sounds
only
delicious.
difference. Okay.
That does elevate it for me, but I don't know if that naturally bumps tears. I'm just saying, not to get too far ahead, but like
I
I mean,
agree.
in this economy, that makes it so much more expensive. You know.
Unfortunately, true.
I I I'm gonna put it out there. I think they're both B's.
Yeah, I agree.
I get it. Because one is male, and then you add the egg, and it's female. It's
I think that's
clever.
accurate.
That's clever. Okay, I'm gonna go male B because everyone knows men are not as good as women, and then the female version of the sandwich, I'm gonna go A. But I'm cool with whatever.
Supposedly, the name Croque Monsieur translates to Mr. Crunch, and the
It
egg
sounds like a children's cereal.
Like
they
Captain
went
Crunch.
Madame not because of an egg for the woman, but because the egg on top resembled a woman's head.
Got it. Well, Modi, it was Captain Crunch before he set sail because he was not always a captain.
True.
Yeah, it was pre-enlistment.
He had to earn that by
Yeah,
To become a
journeying to the
captain.
new world.
pre-enlistment, he was not a captain.
All right. Male B.
I think
Yes.
to me, I agree with what Thomas said. Both B's for me.
Both B's. All right. Both B's. Put them next to each other. They feel like they have to be together.
Yeah.
But if a bagel with lox got in between them, maybe the madame would think about cheating. I don't know. I'm just, you know.
Usually, an egg really elevates a sandwich. I feel like I'm sure it does, but not that much here. Not without.
Again, I struggle to call this a sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're eating it with a fork and knife, that's like very disqualifying towards it being a sandwich. It's only because it's on this list that we're giving it that credit. Okay, number 17, a Reuben. Corned beef, Swiss cheese, sauerkraut, and Russian dressing. I will start on this one. A Reuben is one of my favorite sandwiches, but I understand that they are super divisive. A Reuben for me is S tier. I will fully accept it not being an S tier if you guys don't feel that way.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the other side of you. I don't think they're disgusting. Like I'm not quite like it's not definitely not a D for me, but it's not my favorite sandwich. It would be probably a B. It's fine. That's how I feel about a Reuben.
I just don't like sauerkraut, so I prefer with coleslaw, which I believe is a Rachel.
Uh-huh.
I like. Yeah, it's hard for me to say I hate it, but like I just don't like I almost can never get past the sauerkraut, and it's almost so much on there.
Uh-huh.
I'd be between a B and C myself. Well, I'd probably be C.
Okay, so we've got an S, a B, and a C. I think kind of by definition that makes it a B. if at the end of this, the thought of it makes you want to throw up, Thomas, we can always move it down. But I think there's a Ruben faithful out there that are going to be upset if we go any lower than a B.
It is one of those things that it's people fucking love Rubens. So
You know who loves a Reuben? Someone that I know you love very much, Thomas. My mother, Cindy Queen, loves a Reuben.
I'm pretty sure my mom does too.
I don't know about my
Moms,
mom. I'll have to ask
moms
her.
know a lot about a lot.
All right, moving on.
Number 18, a Euro, which is they have grilled meat, traditionally grilled lamb meat, but we'll just say grilled meat, tomato, onion, and what does that say?
Is that tzatziki?
I think it's tzatziki. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it is
can't.
tzatziki.
Some of these are real burned up. I don't know. I think that says tzatziki.
It does.
It does. It does.
Okay, maybe it's my eyes. Maybe it's not
No,
the burned
it's
up
not.
paper. It's my eyes.
It is very hard to see, but I can see the Zeke part. So what the hell is?
Okay, sure. A Euro, God, it's up there again with me. I put it above a falafel. I don't think for me personally it's goated. I think I've had a lot of bad Euros, a lot of like fatty meat. I've also had a lot of incredible, particularly like street meat Euros. I think it's one of the top tier street meat foods you can get, particularly on the East Coast. I'm gonna put myself at a tentative A. Moda, I'm curious your thoughts.
This is an S for me. I love a Euro. I also really like lamb, which obviously helps. I really like tzatziki. That also helps. It's like a lot of my favorite ingredients in a sandwich. For one Thanksgiving, when I was still out in Denver, and none of us traveled home, so like we got together at like an Airbnb in the mountains, and everybody made their favorite food. It wasn't my choice, but somebody made Euros, and I really appreciated that. And it was really
That's
really tasty.
incredible. That's an
Yeah,
incredible Thanksgiving food.
it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome.
It's almost too much of a specialty. Like I feel like I can't go into most sub shops and get a good one, and I think it's an love it, but I think it's an A for me. I don't think I can go to it only because I think it's specialty enough where like a fried chicken sandwich, you can get a good one a lot of places. Same with the cheesesteak. But like it's kinda like Italian beef for me. Like when it's good, it's fucking great. But like not
Yeah.
everyone makes a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, with an A, I feel like S tier we all have to be either fully in agreement or like 2/3 in agreement. So it would be an S for me, but I'm more than happy with it being in an A.
Yeah, I think A makes sense. The idea of a Euro is always just perfect to me. But like you said, it kind of depends on where you're getting it and how the cut of the meat is and whether it's a place that actually has like genuine pita bread and whatever else. I think it's too difficult to get it right sometimes to have it an S. Let's move on to number 19. We're moving into the seafood realm a little bit, maybe just for this one. I don't know if it's anywhere else on here.
Yeah,
We've
so
got a po' boy sandwich, which is fried seafood, lettuce, tomato, pickles, mayo, and hot sauce. I think this is the first thing that has mentioned hot sauce. I don't know if hot sauce is necessary for a po' boy.
I wouldn't if you asked me the ingredients, hot sauce wouldn't be I'm okay with it, but it wouldn't be included for me.
I would add hot sauce to a po' boy because I add hot sauce to a lot of things, but I would not think of a po' boy and think of hot sauce.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Tom, we'll start with you.
I love the po' boy. Shrimp, oysters, clams, mussels, maybe? Uh I love it. I'm all here for it. I don't know if I could put it above a Cubano and a meatball. It's right between S and A with me, but my struggle is with what's already an A. Um, so yeah, I think I'm between an S and an A.
What?
I don't know if I've ever had a po' boy, but that description of a sandwich sounds phenomenal.
You're from an East Coast beach adjacent area. You've never had a po' boy?
I was trying to think of it. Like I know what a po' boy is, but I was trying to remember a time when I actually had it, and nothing comes to mind. It
We
sounds
gotta go on a
delicious.
list night food trip. That's what we need to do.
Oh,
I'm in.
Come home 15 pounds heavier. That might be me rounding down.
That's how a vacation trip should go. You should come back heavier.
We always do. I think I'm in the same boat as you, Tom. I think I'm an A. I really like a po' boy. I wouldn't necessarily pick it over everything, And sometimes you get like the most half-assed po' boy where it's like it'll be like a fried shrimp or whatever else, and there's way more breading than there is actual like shrimp in the fried shrimp, and that's just the biggest fucking bummer in the world. But the idea of a po' boy is just it's really good.
It is not something I'm walking into a sub shop and getting, but if I'm at like a seafood shack or like I'm in Louisiana, like it's what I'm
Yeah.
getting. But yeah, if I'm walking
I'm
into
not ordering a po' boy in Minnesota. I'll tell you that. Like, there's a lot of things on this that I'll order in any state.
yeah,
Po' boy's not one of them.
if this was actually a menu on a wall, I probably wouldn't get the po' boy here.
Yeah. I'd be like, particularly because these shrimp don't look like they're fried. They look like they're not even like peeled.
They
Yeah,
look disgusting.
They
That
They
don't-
look
picture,
awful.
they don't
Look,
yeah,
people talking about shrimp being like the vermin of the sea. This looks like you're eating vermin. This looks like you're eating bugs.
yeah.
And on that, I just can't make it an S tier. Honestly, that the picture makes me want to put it in D tier, because I know what a po' boy is and how they taste. I'm going to stick with A tier. Okay, that was 19. Is 20 next, or are we jumping around again?
20's next.
Okay, 20 next. Freezy sandwich. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm just going to tell you right now, this is like a very uninteresting sandwich for me. I know there's a lot of love for it, but Modai, let's start with you.
I love a caprese. I know that I said that I would never choose to order a veggie sandwich, but if there was like a sandwich tray and there was like a mini caprese, I would pop one in. I love a caprese. You add some grilled chicken to that bad boy, which I understand isn't part of the sandwich, so that's not how I'm going to count it.
Add some food to that food and it makes it
Yeah.
a better food.
You just make a totally different sandwich. You fry it. You put but I love a caprese. I think caprises are very tasty.
I am mostly with you. I like them. If I want something light and I'm at like an Italian, like Italian deli, like I maybe go for it. Sitting in the sun, beach, whatever. I like them. They're just not my go-to. I do find them refreshing. Well, yeah, like I want some meat on my sandwich. I just do. So for me, that puts it as a B. Personally, I like them, but there's no B.
Yeah. You know what I appreciate about this? And I think it's the only one on here, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong while I glance around. I think it's the only panini on this list.
I think you're right.
Looking at these images, I love a panini. I don't know why. I don't know what about a panini just makes it an elevated version of a sandwich. But this panini is not anywhere near my favorite of the bunch. For me personally, it's probably a B because every part of it's good. There's no part of it's offensive to me. I just wouldn't pick it over a lot of different things.
I'm okay. It'd probably be an A for me. But a B makes sense.
What makes it a panini?
When you just
Like
I forget what that
you
thing's
put
called.
it in, yeah, it's the way you make it.
Yeah, but like a Cubano is not a panini.
I think oftentimes it is. This picture doesn't seem to be.
It does look like it might be grilled on the top of that Cubano.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
I can't really tell.
I always get my Cubanos grilled, but I feel like it's a type of bread that makes it a panini.
I don't know.
Well, I think you can
I will
have
let
like
you. I'll let you look it up while I move this into B.
I'm looking it up.
Modai, what number would you like me to go to next?
let's go
Typically use
to
Italian bread. I'm just saying, typically Italian bread.
All right,
And a
makes
panini?
sense. Being called a panini, that it would be an Italian bread necessary for the creation. It's a very Italian sandwich.
All right, that's all I have.
All right.
we're gonna skip around a little bit. We're gonna go to 24 just because I want to talk about it.
24 is a great one. 24 is a great one. I'm going to let you go first. It's a PB&J, which, if you're not an idiot, it's a peanut butter and jelly.
And if you don't have that in the S tier, I don't want to be friends with you.
I put in the S. We're good. We
I
don't
think it's
need
an
to
S
talk
tier.
about it.
It's an S tier.
Yeah, don't even talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. All
I'm
right.
so
We
glad.
don't even need to talk about a PB&J. It
So
might
glad-
be. It might be. I don't necessarily want to say 100,000% that it's the best sandwich ever made, but it's in the. It's in the.
I can't say it's the best because there are stuff that tastes better, but in terms of just like consistently good, always there for you, has never left you. There's no other option. It's S.
I think we were talking about this the other day. It's actually my preferred breakfast if I'm going to eat breakfast. Like if I'm home and I'm going to eat breakfast, making a PB&J with like a black coffee is in my opinion, like one of the greatest pleasures in life.
I think a PB&J as an adult is one of the most delightful experiences you can have.
I like that we've used delightful a lot on this episode.
Yeah.
Because this talking about sandwiches is delightful.
It's still
It is.
There is not a time of day where I'm not okay. Like I'm okay having PB&J any time of day.
100%.
It doesn't matter.
You sound like the Arthur theme song. There's not a time of day where I'm not okay. That's like that's Arthur like going through some stuff, talking to his therapist.
It's the vibe.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want me to continue to 25, or am I jumping around again?
Let's go to 25 to 30. I just want to, honestly,
right,
I just want to talk about a PB&J.
Sure, totally get it. All right, let's go 25. 25 is a torta. Steak, beans, lettuce, tomato, avocado. I can't read what that last word is, but that's fine. It doesn't really matter.
The type of
I
cheese.
love a torta. I don't think it is an S tier. Again, it's one where I've had a lot of really, really great tortas. I've had a lot of very mediocre, and partially because maybe I'm eating at late night food places, tortas. I think this is.
I would probably put it in an A category. I love a torta. And that the last word is just, it's a type of cheese. It's like a cojita cheese. Tortas are amazing. They're phenomenal. It's like a burrito in a sandwich. There's nothing not to like about it.
I didn't know that I was going to have to wear glasses for this episode. I should have done that.
I have it open on a separate tab that I've aggressively zoomed in because it's so hard to read.
Okay. I've got it on my second screen, which is behind my first screen. So I've made it further away than it needs to be, and it's so small.
I don't have a lot of pushback. I love a torta. I don't love beans on it. Like I don't love the beans aspect of it because I'm just not huge on beans without rice is my thing. I'd put it personally as a B, but I'm not gonna fight anyone who wants an A because they are delicious. My pushback is a preference thing more than anything.
Modi, you were an A.
It was an A, yeah. And you can ask for that bad boy with no beans. That doesn't dramatically change the sandwich.
You're right.
You can't do that. They'll do it. They'll do it for you. They might shame you a little bit, but they're gonna shame you in Spanish. You're not gonna know. Like you're not gonna feel any sort of way. I'm gonna put it in A. I think it's deserving of an A category. And we press onwards. 26, roast beef sandwich, which appears to be a barbecue roast beef, thinly sliced beef, barbecue sauce, or horseradish. I'm gonna say that could be an and or. I'm not gonna tell you that you can't have both barbecue sauce and horseradish on your sandwich. Thom, we'll start with you on this one.
Not opposed to it, but I don't think of barbecue sauce going on a roast beef sandwich. I don't know if I'm wrong for that. I was raised wrong, but like if you said you want a roast beef sandwich, my first thought wouldn't be barbecue. I'm okay with it. I love barbecue, but like it surprises me that it says that or horseradish. That being said, roast beef is not my favorite sandwich meat. But like if I have roast beef on the sandwich, I kind of want other stuff with it. I'd put this as a B for me for that. Like I think it needs something else for my taste buds, but I won't ever go against someone who likes it because I get it.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I don't necessarily associate barbecue sauce with roast beef. I really, really like horseradish and I like roast beef. I just feel like of all the meats, you can get some funky roast beef that like really turns you off of a sandwich. Is kind of my thing. If we're assuming it's a peak roast beef sandwich, then yeah, it's probably an A, but you're not always getting that. So I'll probably put this in a B. I'd probably agree with that.
I'm good with B. I do really like a roast beef, but I'm thinking about it. I don't know the last time at like a sandwich or a sub place, roast beef is what I got. And you're right. You can get some really gamey, really fatty, just piece of shit roast beef, and it'll sour you on roast beef for a little while. That's true. Particularly because sometimes you can see like the veins in it and shit. Like it's not the most visually appealing looking meat sometimes.
I've seen some memes that doesn't make roast beef appetizing to me that I won't have to mention on the show.
I presume those memes also probably don't make women appetizing to you.
That's correct.
Yeah, sure. Okay. All right. We'll put it in B and we'll move on. Again, this is what I don't know how to say. 27, jambon, Bior. I don't know. French ham. And this one, is salted butter,
Salted.
not unsalted butter. That already gets me some points. It looks like almost like it's on like a pretzel bread, but that might be just like a oven toasted Italian or a wheat. I don't have an opinion on this one. I mean, I like ham, I like butter, I like bread. Doesn't seem like it has a whole lot going for it. Like it's just like a ham sandwich.
You might know it better as a Parisian.
Okay.
It's the same
I
thing.
don't know if I've ever ordered a Parisian, but yeah, I've seen it on a menu.
I think like I don't know if I'd ever actually order it. Like I would see it like I'm sure it's fine, but I don't. If I have butter on toast, like I don't really put meat on it too, unless you're grilling it. I guess like a grilled cheese, or which we'll come to. I'm sure it's not bad, but I think it'd be a C for me. And like there's just not a lot going on.
I would agree. It's a C for me. It doesn't sound like I would like. I need it if I have to, but like, what's the point of the sandwich existing? It just feels like the just boring vanilla type of sandwich. Not like I love vanilla. That's not me saying vanilla's bad, but you know what I mean.
It makes me think less of Parisians, like people, meaning people that live in Paris.
I thought you were gonna say it makes me think less of sandwiches.
No, nothing could make me think less of sandwiches at this point. I think they might be the only thing, keeping me going every single day.
Sure.
Shout out my wife, my dogs, my family, my job, all that stuff. I'm a sandwich guy. Yeah, nothing about this is exciting to me. I would eat it. And I'd eat it if I have to. I think that also counts as like it's fine. This is the it's fine category. It's food. It has calories in it. Whatever.
Yeah, that's
28. We have a tonkotsu, which is fried pork chop, mayo, and tonkatsu sauce. I don't know that I've ever had this as a sandwich.
It
I've
sounds
had
delicious.
tonkotsu ramen. I'd eat it. I'd probably eat
Sounds
the shit out of it.
I've never had it. It sounds I agree with you. It sounds delicious, but I've never had it.
I don't know that I've ever had Japanese food that I don't like.
yeah. I'm with you. I haven't had it as a sandwich. There's nothing there that says I wouldn't love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Other than I'm not.
but none of us have had it. Is this an A or a B? I think this must. I mean, it's an A because like the idea of it kicks ass, right?
Well, my only pushback, and this is personal preference, and it's not listed there. I don't think. No, but like when you look up a traditional one, there is cabbage on it. I don't love cabbage.
I'm okay
But
with cabbage.
like I don't have a reason why I would not like this sandwich.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll defer to the two of you. Would you rather have it an A or B?
I think it has to be B personally because we haven't had it. We think
Yeah,
we'll
it's
love
like
it, but do we
the
love it?
ingredients of it sound amazing, but yeah, can it be an A if none of us have had it?
It looks very neat, very much in keeping with being a Japanese sandwich. This
True.
picture, again, if you're watching it, if you're listening, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But this is the most perfectly cut sandwich I've ever seen in my life.
That is true.
Okay, 29. This is one I'm going to start on this one. 29 is a Monte Cristo. It's ham, turkey, Swiss cheese, and it says it's fried and served with jam. Oftentimes they will also give you, you're usually going to get this it's like a brunch sandwich. And you're going to get it they'll give you syrup with it. And you just douse that shit in syrup. There's a place down the block from me that serves an incredible one. For me, a Monte Cristo is an S tier sandwich. It is one of my favorite sandwiches. That said, if you're not a brunch sandwich guy, or if ham and turkey just doesn't do it for you, I can see ending somewhere else. Thom, thoughts on a Monte Cristo?
No pushback with what you just said. There's nothing involved in this sandwich that I don't love. I haven't had one in a long time. And it is definitely, yeah, I want it for brunch. I don't necessarily want it other times, but there's nothing about it I don't like. I would also have it in S. It's not my favorite sandwich, but there's nothing I don't like.
I've recently had one of these. They're phenomenal. I don't know, like ham's not my favorite type of meat, but this concoction in bread, smothered in syrup, it's phenomenal. It's an amazing sandwich.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with Thomas. There's like no reason, like when I think of my favorite sandwiches, it doesn't come up in my head, but it's an amazing sandwich and it should probably be an S tier. That's kind of how I feel.
I don't know. I mean, me personally, I wouldn't think of it either, despite the fact that I love it. Maybe because it's a breakfast sandwich and you don't really like necessarily think of breakfast items when you think of sandwiches. personal preference, and I think this is how most places make it, but not necessarily. Make it with challah bread, and it's like a thick, sugary bread. Oh my god, it kicks so much ass.
That just goes with it. It's essentially a French toast sandwich. I fucking love French toast.
Yeah.
And challah bread French toast is fucking amazing.
Agreed on all counts.
All right, that's easy.
All right. Good stuff.
Okay, let's move to 30. God, these numbers that we have left are so stupid. The jump around that we did is so dumb. Let's move to 30. At 30,
Yeah, who
we've
did
got
that?
a ham and cheese. We just talked about ham and how it's, for at least two of us, not our favorite meat. It's a ham, cheese, lettuce, and mustard. Obviously, you have other things that you could put on a ham and cheese. I'll just lead off. Ham and cheese to me is kind of like a roast beef. Like, I just don't care, but it's still good. Like, a ham and cheese is a good sandwich. It's just, I'm never gonna be like, hey, I'm desperate for a ham and cheese today.
I'm never gonna order ham and cheese. I will make myself a ham and cheese.
It's a good store-bought meat sandwich.
Yeah.
It's super easy.
It's what I'm making at home when I don't add a lot else. When I don't have anything else to add to my sandwich. It's what I'm making at home. I still it's a very low B though, because it's fine.
Yeah, to me, I think this is a tier below a roast beef sandwich. I don't think there's a less exciting sandwich than a ham sandwich. Like, it's like in classic sports vernacular, when someone trades away a player for nothing, he's traded for a ham sandwich. Like, that's the term that people use. It does nothing for me. Like, the ham and cheese hot pocket when I was a kid was one of my favorite things in the world. But a ham and cheese sandwich does absolutely nothing for me. If I never had a ham and cheese sandwich for the rest of my life, I'd be okay with that. So to me, it's a C.
Here's the thing. I think I like ham more than both of you apparently. If you take the ham and cheese sandwich and you added like roasted red peppers, and if you add avocado if you like it, you can definitely elevate it.
I think part of the issue is that the image that we're looking at and the ingredients that it's listing for us is the most boring sandwich ever created. The only thing that's more boring than this is like 2 pieces of bread with lettuce in between.
The bologna sandwich, yeah.
The bologna sandwich is also just objectively worse than this.
I don't care enough to fight for this to be in B of Reuben. Mostly because, again, if I'm ordering a ham and cheese, it's because it's a Monte Cristo and they're having turkey and frying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's better variations of this sandwich in my mind. And honestly, if I'm making a ham and cheese, like, I probably also have turkey, so I'm making a turkey ham and cheese. Like, I'm very rarely going to make just ham and cheese.
Yeah.
I'm going to say C. Modi?
C for me.
Tom? C's fine? All right. I think we've already spent too much time on a ham and fucking cheese.
It doesn't mean enough.
Let's now work backwards, because fuck it, right? 23, we've got French dip, which is a roast beef sandwich dipped in beef jus. I'm going to say for me, I really love this, although it can get, I love a French dip. It can go wrong really quickly if you don't have the perfect balance of meat and bread and sauce on it. If you're dipping a little bit too long, it gets a little bit too soggy. I'm going to say this is an A, but I know people that don't like this at all. So, Modi, thoughts?
I love a French dip. I think French dips are phenomenal. It's basically a better roast beef sandwich. Like, you're just adding a tasty thing to dip it in. So to me, it probably is also an A. I'm probably with you on that.
I just recently had a really good one, and even before that, I would put it as an A. Pretty much, like, no disagreement with any. Nothing to add.
Easy A. All right, great. The amount of time we spent on ham cheese didn't need to be dedicated to French dip. We all just like French dips a lot. 22, egg salad. I'm going to go last on this one. Tom, I want you to go first.
If I want egg salad, I don't want it on a sandwich, and I would put it in C because it would be below chicken salad for me.
Would I?
I think egg salad's disgusting. I think I'd rather kill myself than eat an egg salad.
All right, well, I'm going to have to try and censor that when we post this episode. Otherwise, the old platforms are going to get mad at us. I agree with you. I'm not an egg salad guy. I'll occasionally eat an egg salad. It's not my favorite food, and I certainly don't want it in between bread. I don't know what it is. It just makes it even less appealing to me. Tom, were you a C or a D for this?
I'd say C, but that's because I like egg salad, but I don't need an egg salad sandwich.
No, you're a D.
If you guys
I'm a D.
really hate it, I don't care enough to not put it in D. But if I'm at If I'm at a cookout, there's egg salad on my plate.
I will
Out of
avoid
respect.
egg salad.
Out of respect. All right. 21. Let's keep it moving. 21, we've got a patty melt, which is ground beef patty. I realized I didn't even say what was in an egg salad. You can fucking guess. Patty melts, ground beef patty, cheese, caramelized onions. Modi. Thoughts?
Yeah, this is delicious. It's not my like beef isn't my preferred meat on a sandwich, but like you're putting melted cheese on it. Caramelized onions also aren't really like I normally ask for stuff without onions, but even with all that stuff said, this is a phenomenal sandwich. It's just a really good sandwich. It's probably an A for me.
Yeah, I'd put it an A. I really like rye bread, which is what it usually is on. Um, honestly, I'd probably put it at between a B and an A. I really like it, but I think most of the other ones in A I would get over it.
That's fair.
But B, I feel the opposite. There's a lot. Yeah, between a B and A for me.
I think I'm an A as well. I think you need a little bit more than just the ground beef, the cheese, and the onions.
It's missing something.
Maybe a little sauce or something to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But again, the world is our oyster. We can do those things. I think I'm going to put it in A. I think we're all pretty unified on it being a high B, low A. All right. I'm going to bounce around again. Fuck it.
Really? The next one is like the brother to that.
You want me to just keep working backwards? I'll work backwards. Whatever.
I'm just saying.
No. Look, Tom, you've got strong opinions, and I'm here to understand those opinions. We've already dedicated an hour to this, so fuck it. We ball.
Might as well.
10. I assume you mean 10, not 1. 10 is a tuna melt, which is tuna salad and cheese. Everything that I said about egg salad and how I don't like egg salad, I feel almost the opposite. I really like tuna salad. I think I talked about that at the beginning. Tuna salad over chicken salad, which is also over egg salad. You add cheese to something, you fucking fry it up or grill it up. I really enjoy a tuna melt. It's a very, very easy sandwich to make. I think that said, I just hyped it up a lot. It doesn't have like the most expansive flavor profile in the world. You can't really do an enormous amount with a tuna melt. I think for me, it's a B. Modi, thoughts?
I like chicken salad better than tuna salad. I know that this is different. This is a tuna melt, so I get that it's not a tuna salad sandwich. I kind of agree with you. It's probably a B. It's fine. Like you're never gonna go wrong with it, but it's never gonna like the peak tuna melt isn't as high as the peak sandwiches in the S and A.
I don't think I've ever had a tuna melt. I like tuna salad sandwiches. I have zero interest in having cheese with my tuna. Zero.
You've never had a tuna melt?
No, I didn't. But like, I wasn't allowed to eat seafood growing up because I was allergic to most of it.
That makes a ton of sense.
But
Okay, I was
really-
gonna say this was my like dad's go-to. Mom's working late, so dad's gonna make sandwiches for the kids. Like this is what my dad would make was tuna melt.
I really like tuna. I really like tuna salad. Something about cheese and tuna doesn't interest me at all. It would be a C for me, but if you guys want it in B, it's whatever.
Sound more enthused.
I'll
I'll leave it up to you then. Would you rather it be a B or a C?
I'm okay with it being in a C. I think it's probably closer to the C's than the B's.
Yeah, I mean it's a low B, so we'll call it a C plus. Number 9, Turkey Club, turkey, lettuce, tomato, bacon, mayo. I'm just gonna say, personal take, it's got to be 3 stack the way they have it in this picture. You have to have 3 pieces of bread, and really truly, it should also be cut into triangles. It's the way to make it. I love a Turkey Club. It's not changing the game. It is not one of the greatest sandwiches of all time. I think it is probably the pinnacle of what you can do with just like pretty basic sandwich ingredients. For me, a Turkey Club is probably an A. Thomas?
On my list, I'd put it as an S, but young Thomas would never agree that turkey's better than ham. But you said earlier, if I have a ham sandwich, I'm usually adding a second meat. Well, now turkey club, I'm having bacon on it, but like a deli meat. It would be an S for me. A makes total sense though. A turkey club is delicious. It's great, but yeah, it's not really real.
Yeah, it's an A for me as well. Turkey clubs are awesome. It's just a really good sandwich. If I don't know what I'm in the mood for and I'm at a sandwich place, I'll get a turkey club.
All right. I think that's a strong A then. I love a Turkey Club. I don't think I've ever gone somewhere and had a bad Turkey Club, but I've also so very rarely had a perfect Turkey Club. Number 8, lobster roll, which is lobster meat, mayo, celery. Maybe you want to drizzle a little lemon or something on there. Just personal preference. I'm divided on a lobster roll. I think a lobster roll is maybe the best seafood sandwich you can have. It so often feels like they don't give you anywhere near enough food, and they're also wildly expensive. I understand that's not like a criteria. We don't care about the price of these things, but I could pay $35 for a lobster roll and get, something that's a third of a bunch of other things. But on taste alone, I fucking love one. Lobster
Yeah.
roll. I know you're not a seafood guy.
No, I love seafood.
You are a seafood guy. Thomas
Yeah.
wasn't the seafood guy. Thomas grew up without seafood.
Yeah.
Thomas grew up in a den of his own emotions.
With that said, lobster rolls aren't for me. I'm not made of money, so I can't. I don't know how much lobster rolls that I've had in my life. And even then, like I remember one time I was on a work dinner, so I didn't have to pay for it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get lobster. It was fine. It's definitely not worth how much money it is. And I think I like most seafoods more than I like lobster, not even including the price. So it's just not for me. For me, it's like if it's there, I'll eat it. It's a C, but I'll probably never have one again in my life because of the price.
It's an A for me for sure, and that's live in East and Long Island for 3 years, and like not lobster capital of the world, but you can get a lobster roll in a lot of places and some real good ones. And yeah, I'm not even thinking about the price. I love them. I couldn't put it below a po' boy. Like they're equal to me.
Yeah, I think I probably have them a little bit above a po' boy, but I could get three po' boys for the price of one lobster roll. Again, not the biggest factor in the world, but it's a factor. So I definitely eat lobster rolls less than I eat a lot of other sandwiches. I love them. Don't think I can put it in S tier, so I'm gonna put it in A tier.
I'm good with that.
Let me see if I can find my effing mouse. Okay, all right, we're coming down towards the last. What is this? Last seven. Number
Yeah.
seven, we've got a Thanksgiving sandwich, which is turkey stuffing, cranberry sauce. When you guys think of a Thanksgiving sandwich, do you think of Thanksgiving leftovers that you're eating the next day, or are you actually buying this at a store?
It's leftovers.
Have had this as Capriati's makes it's not called a Thanksgiving sandwich, but it's those ingredients.
Yeah.
Phenomenal sandwich. To me, this is an S tier. Whether it's or Thanksgiving leftovers, whether it's you actually get this at a sandwich shop, a Thanksgiving sandwich is, in my opinion, absolutely an S tier sandwich.
I think Andrew would agree with you on here. I can't. It is leftovers to me, and a Thanksgiving leftover sandwich is turkey, stuffing, mayonnaise, and bread. Like, I don't like cranberry sauce. I just this at no time other than late night Thanksgiving and then the day afterwards do I want this.
There's a place in Northeast DC that makes an incredible. I'm going to blank on their name right now, and I'm bummed about it. It's near where I used to work. That made an incredible Thanksgiving sandwich. No matter the time of the year. But I do think about it more when I think of leftovers. I feel like when we did our Thanksgiving foods draft way back in the day, I think I did say a turkey sandwich, like a leftover turkey sandwich, and I love one, but it's a very seasonal food for me. And I think that's what kind of keeps it out of S. I think it's an A for me. I love every bit of it, but it's next day food. It's getting rid of leftovers over the course of the week. Moda, you were S for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I was S.
Thom, you were what?
I'd probably put it low B, but I get that people love it, and I understand why. It's just not. I'm like you, Griffin. It's a seasonal thing, and like I don't know. There's just so many other sandwiches that I want year round.
Yeah, I get that. I think I'm going to put it in A. I think that's the best way to average this one out. I get the love of it, Moda. I really do. And truthfully, and I'll say this for so much of this list, and I probably said this at the beginning as well. I will take things on this list that are in C before I take a lot of other stuff. Like I love a sandwich. I love a sub. I love food so much. Not being S tier, I still everything in A. I still take over most foods. Like I love a sandwich. So let's keep it moving. Number six, one of the most iconic sandwiches there is. You got an Italian sub, cured meats, oil, vinegar, onion, lettuce. Maybe throw pickles on there. Maybe throw some olives on there if you like them. Different sauces. You don't have to do the oil and vinegar. Thom, start with you.
I wouldn't put pickles, maybe olives on it. I put peppers on it.
First, great
This
one.
is an S. If I go into a sub shop and I don't know what to get, or I haven't been there before, this is what happened.
Yeah. Italian
Same
sub
brand,
is,
Moda.
yeah, it's an S, 100%.
Yeah.
My Italian sub wouldn't be your Italian sub, and that's the beauty of an Italian sub. You can get it however you want it.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree. Right now, I'm looking at what we've got in the S tier, and I'm salivating. Like, there's no wrong choices in the S tier thus far. We don't need to talk about an Italian sub because we'll do so for a half hour. Number 5, BLT, bacon, lettuce, tomato, mayo. I love that they put mayo on there when it's, BLT. It's not one of the named letters, but obviously you do need to have some sort of sauce or else it's the driest sandwich imaginable. I don't love a BLT the way a lot of people do. I think they're pretty boring. Like, if bacon is my only meat, I feel like an 8-year-old. I just don't have the love for bacon that a lot of people do. But I'm open to opinions. Modi, thoughts?
I do have the love for bacon that a lot of people do, but I agree with your take that it's not enough to be the only protein on a sandwich. I need bacon and turkey or chicken or whatever. And a BLT, there's nothing wrong with it when you look at the ingredients, but it's never a sandwich I would order in a million years.
Could not disagree more. I fucking love a BLT. For the last 3 months at work, I've gotten it. I get lunch 4 days a week at work. I've gotten it at least once, if not sometimes 3 times a week. And I'll tell them I don't care what bread you put it on, put mayo on it. I love a BLT. They're so simple. They're so good. I understand your guys' reasoning, and to put it above a turkey club, which is just a BLT with turkey, is hard. I would put it in S or A. Clearly, you guys wouldn't. Open to some talking here, but I love.
I mean, I think if you put look, I think a BLT for me personally, it's a C or a B, right? I am willing to put it in A. That makes me almost want to bump a turkey club up to S though, because like you said, unless you really don't like turkey, I feel like by definition a turkey club has to be better than a BLT.
Except like a turkey club's gonna fill you up more, and maybe that's something. Maybe you don't want to have to take a nap after lunch. Maybe you want to go
I
back to lunch.
absolutely want to take a nap
Yeah, but
after
maybe
lunch.
you
That's
can't.
the
Maybe
ideal
you
lunch.
can't.
Yeah, I need to eat until I hate myself. And to me, I love a turkey club. I don't think it's on the tier of everything else in S. And I agree that you can't have a BLT and turkey club next to each other. So, I mean, if it was my own list, it would be in a C for me, but it's just not my type of sandwich. And obviously, Thomas is on the other side of that spectrum. So I think B probably makes the most sense.
Certainly on a spectrum.
On my list, my own turkey club and BLT are both S. I will hate myself, but if we're gonna put in B, we're gonna put in B. And I might have to take a couple weeks off and not talk to you guys. But
Look, I'm fine putting it in A as long as you know that it's not as good as a turkey club.
I would have both of them in S on my own list.
Sure. But
Okay,
if
I
you had
won't
to
fight it.
pick an S1 and an S2,
But like, are you saying what's best or what I want at the moment? Because like sometimes I just want the BLT,
what's best? What's best?
a turkey club over
Okay.
BLT. Yes, I get, which I totally get. Like what Moda is saying makes sense, and I understand. Like, how can I say ham and cheese is boring, but a BLT isn't boring? I don't know. It's just my taste.
Look, I think we've talked your ranking down on a few of these, so I'm willing to put BLT in A. I am not willing to put it in S. I will not do that. The
And
people demand A at best.
I knew if there was ever going to be pushback on any of my choices tonight, it was going to be a BLT.
You have taken our tier list from being perfect in sizing, and you have made us move down a row, which is going to happen regardless. But here it is. All right, number 4. We've got 4 to go. Banh mi, which it says meat, pickled vegetables, cilantro, and mayo. I guess you could do a lot of different kinds of banh mi's. I think normally it's like pork belly. I really like a banh mi. I'm not going to order it. Like I'm not going to order it. I'm not going to go out of my way to order it. For me, it's a B. It's not the most exciting thing, but they're good, and I've never had a bad one.
I love a banh mi. This is an S tier for me personally. My favorite sandwich place in Charlottesville, the sandwich I order the most from that place is a banh mi. I feel like the bread is always on point with the banh mi. Love classifying it as meat. I guess, like you said, makes sense because it can be different types. Is underselling a banh mi sandwich when you just read those ingredients. To me, it's an S tier. I love a banh mi.
Saying meat as the primary part of it, it's so uninteresting to just write meat.
Yeah.
I don't order them. I think I'd probably go B. So if Modai is not going to fight it, I think A is a good home for it because
Oh,
I
yeah.
think they're great. Just like Griffin, I just don't order them.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't in good conscience put them in S tier. I like them better than I like a BLT, I'll tell you that. But I think it's an A tier. I think it's a high end A for me. I wouldn't get, like I'll say, looking back at what we've got in A, I don't think I'd put it over a Cuban. I don't think I'd put it over a meatball. But I think it's probably better than some of the things on here. So we'll A tier this one.
A's fine with me. I think it'd be a top 3 of the A's. It'd be top 3 for me personally.
Okay.
All right. Number 3 to go. Pulled pork, which they have as pulled pork shoulder, barbecue sauce, coleslaw. I'm going to come out right out and say you do not need to include coleslaw. That is a preference. I will go last on this one. Modai, I want you to go first. When you're sorry, I know you're about to take a drink.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah. Another food hot take of mine. I'm not a big like pulled pork, pulled meats guy. I don't really love
You're an
a
idiot.
lot of.
That's stupid. You're stupid.
I don't like a lot of barbecue sauce, like barbecue in general. So to me, like I would never ever eat a pulled pork sandwich. I would choose probably 90% of the sandwiches on this list over pulled pork, but which I understand is not how most people feel. If my personal list, this is a C. I need it if I have to, but I would never choose it.
Is Thomas sleeping in his sweatshirt?
No, I'm just like, is it too late to like kick him out? What?
Hey, this might be the worst thing that Modai's ever said.
I will say, and
He's got some doozies. He was talking about the whites an episode or two ago and the non-whites.
No, I was quoting you talking about them.
You were quoting me. That's true.
I would say I love a pulled pork sandwich. Less so recently in my life. I think there's just stuff I want more often than I want a pulled pork sandwich. I fucking love barbecue though. I don't love coleslaw all the time. Love it on the sandwich. Another sandwich that I'm okay with pickles on. This would be A for me, mostly because like it's between an S and an A. I think I would go A.
Modai, you're what, a C?
I was a C. Yeah. Yeah. One of my wife's biggest frustrations with my palate is that I don't like barbecue because she loves barbecue.
I will say,
You tell your wife in the most non-sexual way ever. Give me a call. I will fly out. I will get barbecue with her.
don't fly her. Fly her to Austin and get that catering we got.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. So I'm gonna say a pulled pork sandwich is probably my favorite sandwich. Barbecue is my favorite food. I've talked about it before. A brisket, pulled pork, even some hams or sausages or what have you. But a pulled pork has always been my like old faithful. I love it so much. So it's like the S of S's. That said, I can't reasonably put it in S. If Modai's got it as a C and Thom's got it as like a AS. So I think A is probably where it should go. Because like you said, I understand not everyone's into just generally pork products. I understand pork in particular, being a little dicey for some people.
I'm just saying, I make a mean pulled pork. We should just hang out.
Never once in our friendship, coming on, I don't know, a decade and a half, have you made me a pulled pork? Not once.
Often. Live near me more often.
Stop moving to like Denver.
Okay, California.
That's true. I do live in California. You're right.
Nothing wrong with Denver.
Yeah.
That's true. We've got 2 Denver guys on this show right now. All right, 2 to go. You guys want to go 1 or 2 first?
Ooh, let's go 1.
All right, let's go 1. Number 1, a breakfast sandwich. We got a bacon, egg, and cheese, which is a fried egg, American cheese, bacon. Oda, you wanted to start with this one, so I'm going to start with you.
Yeah. I'm in my head putting this on a bagel because like I mentioned at the beginning, I love a bagel sandwich and I love a bacon, egg, and cheese. You put some hot sauce on this bad boy, and
They got this on a croissant, but you could put it on anything. You could put it on a biscuit. You put it on a bagel.
Yeah. Yeah. This is one of my favorite sandwiches. I love a bacon, egg, and cheese. I could have it not for breakfast and be perfectly content with my life. Yeah, this to me, this is an S tier.
Thom?
I prefer sausage, egg, and cheese. That's nothing against bacon, egg, and cheese. It's just personal preference. It's the breakfast sandwiches of all breakfast sandwiches. I mean, it's delicious. I go back and forth between a croissant and a bagel, but English muffin, bread, toasted bread, which is toast. I no pushback. I can have it any time of the day, but I always want it at breakfast. Like if I do want a sandwich for lunch, it's not what I first think of. So I'd probably go A for it for that reason. Whereas like a PB&J,
I think it also thrives as a late night food. It might not be the greatest midday food, but it kicks ass late night.
I get yeah, and like I love an upside down night. So maybe I'm talking myself in circles here, but I I don't know what it is. It's probably because it's bacon, not sausage, that I'm like it's A, not S. But I have nothing against it being coated. It's the breakfast sandwich.
Twist my arm, do sausage and bacon.
I mean, why
Really,
not?
like I got no issues there. I think I really don't think any of us disagree. Thomas might be a little bit less into it than Modi and I are. I love a bacon, egg, and cheese. I love breakfast food kind of at all times, and it's one of those breakfast foods, kind of like a Monte Cristo. You can eat it whenever you want. I know that I shit on bacon not 5 minutes ago, as particularly if it's the only meat. I'm going to consider egg like kind of meat adjacent.
I mean,
It's fine.
Griffin, you shit on bacon, but I also was fighting for BLT, and now I'm saying I'd rather sausage on this. So, like,
That's true. That's true. Yeah, we are not consistent people. I'm going to put it in the S tier. I think a lot of people are going to have this in the S tier. I think it's a very common S tier choice. And then we've got one to go. Last one, number 2, grilled cheese sandwich, which probably don't need to explain to the audience what's on a grilled cheese. It's grilled cheese. This for me, and I understand that this might be a hot take. This is up there with like an Italian sub or a PB&J for me as one of my favorite sandwiches. I love a grilled cheese. I'm not really a cook in any sort of ways. I don't like to make food. If I am going to make myself food, more often than not, it's going to be a grilled cheese. It's going to be slathered in butter. Like it's going to be just so terribly bad for me. But I get a lot of positive feedback on my grilled cheese because of how unhealthy they are. For me, this is an S tier. Thomas, you shook your head. Modi, you nodded your head. Let's start with Modi.
I agree with everything you said. Grilled cheese is phenomenal. It's like to me, it's up there with the PB&J for like one of the most iconic sandwiches you could ever have. My dad doesn't cook. The only thing he really made us as kids, grilled cheese. My dad's famous grilled cheese sandwich was probably just a regular ass grilled cheese, but when I was a kid, that thing was magical.
it is. I've heard about it. It's famous.
Knowing how kick-ass your dad is and loving your dad as much as I do, this honestly makes me feel like better as a person because I get dogged a lot for how much I don't want to cook. Understandably so. Like I need to cook more than I do. But if your dad committed to the grilled cheese life and he kicks as much ass as he does, like that's something for me to aspire to.
He does in fact kick ass, and he does in fact make a mean grilled cheese. Yeah, it's like I said, it was only one of the only things that he would make us as kids, and they're phenomenal. I love a grilled cheese.
I love a grilled cheese. I do. I always want something else with it, whether it's something on it, like a sandwich that's just grilled cheese, or if it's tomato soup, or like I just like an Italian sub, a cheesesteak, fried chicken, maybe not a PB&J, but like everything else in the S, I could have. I could usually have just that. I love grilled cheese, but I just feel like I always want it. And I put it in probably A, but I understand I'm the minority in general on that. So like if you guys both want an S, put it in an S. I always want more is my thing.
Yeah, look, no, that's a really good point. It's maybe 10% of the time that I have a grilled cheese, I don't have tomato soup with it.
Yeah.
And truthfully, and I know this might be a hot take that people take a lot of issue with because we've talked about this in group chats before. If I don't have tomato soup, I'm putting ketchup on that bitch. Like I'm dipping it in ketchup. Grilled
Yeah,
cheese
you've
and ketchup is incredible.
I know. I got no problem with that. It's not to replace
It's so
tomato
good.
soup, but I just love ketchup on a sandwich.
Oh, it's not even remotely comparable to tomato soup.
I
But if I don't have tomato soup, and I do have ketchup, I'm gonna put some ketchup on that bitch.
Why not just put tomatoes on the grilled cheese? That's what I'm saying. I feel like a grilled cheese just it's missed. Like
You can put a tomato on a grilled cheese, and it's still grilled cheese. It doesn't change what the thing is. It's not listed as one of the things here, but you absolutely can put a tomato on it.
I love a grilled cheese. The only reason it's not S is because I want something else with it. But that's just me. I want like I won't. You
You
guys,
know what you have with a grilled cheese, Thomas? And I'm going to tell you this. You have a second grilled cheese. If one grilled cheese is not enough grilled cheese, you eat two grilled cheeses.
let me tell you.
I do it all the time, and that's why I'm steadily and significantly gaining weight.
You know what you should do? PB&J, cook it like a grilled cheese. Game changer. So fucking good.
I do sometimes. And again, that's very unhealthy. It's just an incredibly unhealthy way to eat food.
Yeah, it's so good.
Well, are you actually you're kind of not well, don't you also want more than just a PB&J? Like I love a PB&J, but I can't just have one PB&J sandwich and be
agreed.
satisfied.
Agreed. Yeah, you're 100% right. Like I want something else with it. But I enjoy a PB&J probably just slightly more than a grilled cheese. And that's also thinking like you're right. PB&J is above a grilled cheese for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
This
That's
is the
fair.
most Griffin, you're a 6-year-old statement I'll ever probably make. But I love a PB&J and some apple slices on the side. Like I do. I love that. It's a really great combo.
Nothing
There's
against.
nothing wrong with that. That's delicious.
Yeah, look, I know. Kids have the right idea. They know what they want, and it's what their parents give them. And parents are smart. If I ever have kids, I'm going to make them PB&Js, and then I'm going to cut them apple slices because again, there's not very many things that I know how to make.
I'm gonna make
Thomas, I
Modai's dad's
apologize.
famous grilled cheese for my kids.
Say again.
I'm gonna make Modai's dad's famous grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what he does differently, but I'm going to find out before I have children. Tom, I'm going to put this one in S tier. We got
That's
two guys that are in S
I know
here, and you're an A. Yeah.
I'm the minority. I get it. I'm not gonna fight you on it. I just give him my.
I'm gonna need you to stop saying that you're the minority, but like, yeah, otherwise, I agree. I agree with you. Otherwise, all right. This is a really balanced list. We've got what? We've got 6, 7 in S. We've got some number in A. You know, more than 7, maybe like 12. I don't know.
Team.
Yeah, sure. B, pretty good list. And there's very, very few altogether. You add them up together in C and D. Out of 40 sandwiches, I think we've only got 7 or 8 in D and C. So I feel good about this. There's a couple things that maybe move around a little bit, but I think we found a lot of middle grounds here. And I'm proud of us.
I'm gonna fill out my own, and we can compare them later.
Yeah. All right.
I'll do
That's
the
fair.
same.
I think we got a pretty solid listing here. I don't know unless you don't like sandwiches. I think you're probably going to enjoy this listing. If you're still here, we're an hour and a half in. I'm going to try and cut this down. So I hope when you're listening to it or watching it, that it's not an hour and a half. But if it is, I appreciate you being here. We appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, follow, do whatever you need to do. Rate and review, send us to your friends. If you're not following us on one of our various social media platforms, which really at this point is Instagram or TikTok. Make sure you go follow us there. By the time we release this, TikTok might not be a thing anymore in the States. We'll see. I think they're coming up on another one of those deadlines. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate you watching, and we will see you next time.